What's up, guys? Army-Firedawg is back again for the first time of 2017, and it is actually for the review time of by far one of the best amps I have ever tried to date, and it is definitely an in-game amp. And that is, of course, none other than the iFi Pro iCAN. This is their flagship device. It's actually a hybrid solid-state and tube amp amplifier. And you can easily switch with a simple toggle switch right here. And it's that easy. It's just one switch and you have solid-state or tube amplifier. But I'll jump into that later down the line. But of course, at first, I like to start with the construction of the device. And as you can see, the construction is not just artistically beautiful, but is wonderfully solid. It's completely aluminum, and not just that, iFi added a little artistic design, as you can see on the sides, and then on the top, it has a nice wavy pattern. That doesn't just look nice, that actually repels heat from the device much more efficiently than just a flat panel. That is a very nice touch, and of course they still have the vents in a nice circular pattern here and here. In fact, if you were to split this out, there you go, you can actually see it there. It just follows the design. And this would be the same as well. So very well done on that aspect, iFi, for implementing a functional aspect as well as being artistic. I don't see that often, or at least implemented that well that often. So very well done on that regard. So I'll start from the back. The back, as you can see, has an absolute smorgasbord of inputs and outputs. Right quick, first you have your balanced inputs. This is your right and left channel. And then you have three non-balanced or unbalanced coaxial inputs. There are two outputs. You have the balanced output and the unbalanced coaxial output. The Pro iCAN also works as a audiophile grade preamplifier, and it's completely balanced. This entire device can be balanced both input and output, which is something other that very few other amps and preamps can make that claim, as they are truly balanced inside and out. Moving on, you have, of course, your power supply. If applicable to you, I was unable to test either of these, but you have your DC loop out and your ESL link. Now this looks like an HDMI port. I was unfortunately unable to test what either of these did, and whether or not they add to it, I personally don't know and was unable to try at this time. The bottom of which, I'll just go ahead and get that out of the way, just has a very nice rubber bottom or foot. This not only prevents scratching the unit, like I had it balanced on top of my Bifrost, it also does a really good job of getting rid of any kind of vibrations that would be received in the signal of anything it would be inputting. But going back to the front, and this is the business end right here, so I'll start here. So I already went over the input selector knob. It's very nice. You have very solid clicks, so you know exactly where you're going. This is a feature I'll discuss later, but it's your X-Bass or your bass booster, essentially. And this switches again, very simply, just like that. And it's definitely, it's not something you can accidentally push one too many. You gotta give it a little bit of force to turn. You have your amplifier setting. Right now it's on solid state, tube, and tube plus, which I will discuss later. You have your 1/4 inch jack and 3-pinned balanced port. This works as each one, or either one, pardon me. You have your two 3.5mm jacks. Here is, of course, your balanced, and this is your single-ended. So if you have like balanced IMs, this can very efficiently power those, and it is pitch black as a background, but I will, of course, discuss that later in the sound section. And then, of course, you have just your standard single-ended. But moving on, you have your balanced, your 4-pin XLR balanced. Here is your gain switch, your 0 decibel gains, 9 and 18 decibel gain knob. I personally leave mine at 0 because I like just to finesse it with this. Actually, where it is right now, that's all the volume I ever used, really. And this is the same on my HD650s or the Audio-Technica W5000s. And it's buttery. I mean, it's just butter. Super smooth. And it's very, very linear. It's no like sudden jump. Nope, it's smooth. Getting back on track. Here is by far the coolest thing I've ever had. And this is really what made me love the iCAN. And that is the 3D holographic headphone. This works for both headphones and or actual home speakers, like powered units. It can't power like giant speakers, of course, but like little small computer speakers, it can give those some juice as well. Now, getting back on track, here you have completely off. This is just the standard setting that you're probably used to, normal signal waves, I guess. Next, you have the 30 degree or plus for speakers. 30 degrees is as if the speakers or the audio is coming from you at a 30 degree angle. I'll go ahead and do the demonstration. We have 30, 60, and 90 degree angle. Speakers, you have plus, which is just activates the surround sound effect, 30 and 60 degrees. Oh, there you go, my camera's actually working. There's the 60 degree right there. And then finally, here's the 90 or 60 plus for speakers. I pretty much solely left mine on the 90 degrees, especially for gaming and media, like if I was watching a movie or something similar to that. But if I listen to some music, occasionally I would bring it up down to the 60 degree angle for a little bit more of a intimate soundstage, more of a personal aspect. So overall, the construction, both visually, mechanically, functionally, everything about the construction of the iFi Pro iCAN is top-notch, top-tier, and absolutely worthy of the respective $1,700 price point they are asking. But the sound is what most of you care the most about. So how does the iFi Pro iCAN sound? And it is honestly, as I said earlier in the introductory to this video, worth what is known as an in-game amp. It is truly top tier. Now, me personally, I like the tube amp side the most because I like that more relaxing, that more musical experience versus the solid state, which delivers very quick. It does accurate and I guess reference sound characteristics to the headphones. When I'm reviewing headphones, I would most likely use the solid state section versus the tube amp. However, the tube amp, which is the General Electric 5670 tubes, there's two of them. They are so darn musical. They're wonderfully clean. There's no hiss, actually. I was really off-put by just how silent it was on tube or tube amp plus mode. Which I guess I'll go ahead and or discuss what is tube and tube amp plus. So tube is what you would, is just normal tube amp setting. It's gives you that normal musical aspect. It's a tube amp. Tube amp plus, they claim it gets rid of the cross feedback. It essentially makes it more quieter. It makes it more solid state like, while maintaining the tube amp characteristics. Me personally, I heard minimal difference between tube and tube plus. Now, granted, it could very well be, even in the minimal I heard, it could just be the placebo because there is roughly a 5 to 7-ish second time gap between when you switch from solid, tube, and tube plus. It does have a little bit of a gap there for the interior mechanics to switch themselves over to the next unit. As I said, it could just be my ears, but I personally heard very little to no difference between tube and tube plus. Between the tubes and solid state, it's exactly what it is. You have the quickness, and clarity of what a solid state is known for, versus the tube amp you get, as I guess I'm kind of digressing, but the musicality, the intimacy, and just the relaxing sense that a tube amp is known for giving people. So iFi did a truly just bang up job in delivering solid state and tube amp. You have both in one, both in-game qualities in one. Now, going into the sound of the iFi it was truly something to experience. It didn't matter if I played the power-hungry Audio-Technica W5000s, the hypersensitive inner monitors I have. These things hiss so darn much. It is a chore in and of itself, just finding equipment that does not irritate the crap out of you while giving a hiss or a hum or anything in between. As powerful as the iFi is, it delivered a pitch black, hiss-free, beautiful presentation to these. And that really, really caught me off guard. I expected to have some hiss or it to be very, very, very loud. But now granted, I turned my volume all the way down on here, and it was just silence. Pure silence with the custom inner monitors. And that blew me away more than probably any other headphones. But now, with its sensitivity aside, the sound characteristics that I got from the iFi during my time with it, it's very, very transparent, especially when paired like with the 3D feature on this amp. You are truly at the performance. You are inside the game you're playing. I have, in my memory, I've never been as impressed or blown away with a product as I have with the iFi. It truly is a product that you need to experience. It is so impressive. For example, I will use just a small section on gaming. As you know, I love gaming. Destiny and Final Fantasy 15, my two go-tos. But I currently use this Astro Mix amp. It's the Pro 2011. My thoughts on this will be reserved. But I use the iFi for its 3D surround sound capabilities, and it laughably outperformed the Astro in every single aspect I could use it on. And this will be my final note of how well the iFi iCAN performs with gaming. In the game Final Fantasy 15, there is a mission where I had to find frogs, I believe it was. I was searching, I was using this actually. I was using this with my Meze headphones. And for the life of me, I could not find them stupid frogs. So I was like, well, you know what, let me play with this thing. Let me just try out the capabilities of it. And immediately, as soon as I plugged my PS4 into this, I closed my eyes and I could just visually see, just from listening, everything in that game. I found all 5, whatever those frogs, just by listening to where their croaks were. I could tell they were here. I could tell they were way down over that way and here. One was even by my foot. That annoyed me. I was literally standing on the stupid thing. And I found it that quick, just instantaneously, as soon as I plugged this in. And that's just the only example I'll use just to try and keep this section short. I know my video is getting long, but there's a lot to this guy. The detail retrieval on the iFi, going back to music, is so revealing. I have full confidence that this is only hindered by what DAC I have. Now granted, I think I have a very competent DAC. It has served me very well, and it's the shit Bifrost. It's the 4490. And this has replicated every ounce of detail to my headphones that my DAC was able to transfer. For example, I'll use the song I was listening to as I was writing my written review, which it'll be linked in the description if you prefer to read as well. But I was listening to the song Pirates of the Caribbean by the Philharmonic Rhapsody. And the aspect of the cars driving by, the wind blowing, people just chattering. When the double bass came on, the female, when she started playing the double bass, you could hear the reverb of the strings. I have never heard that before. The actual reverb of the string. Now granted, when the more instruments started coming in, that kind of went away, but when the microphone started panning around, you could occasionally hear the reverb of the double bass, and some violins occasionally when the microphone is right on it. But I digress. I heard with more separation than I've ever experienced before. I could tell again where all the violins, the drums, the whatever they were using in that piece, and it was such a pleasure to listen to it. So to conclude, I know my video is long. This is one of my longer ones, but to conclude, I hate it when I don't have nothing bad to say, because I searched as hard as I could, even nitpicking something negative about this, and I honestly cannot even say the expensive price point of $1,700 is a negative, because for what you get in here, yes, it is expensive, but if you are in this price category looking for it, and you're looking for a true in-game potential, that's actually two, no, technically it's three, because it's a preamplifier as well, 3 in-game pieces in one unit for $1,700, the sound quality, the build, the features, I found no faults or flaws with the iFi Pro iCAN, and I truly hate it when I can't find anything, because I feel like I failed to notice something, but it was spot on. It was beautiful. It was sublime. It was wonderful. There's nothing wrong with it. So I can give nothing but my highest recommendations if you are in and looking for a product in this caliber price point, the iFi Pro iCAN. I will greatly miss when I have to send this unit off. But with that being said, iFi, I thank you very much for allowing me to take part and listening to this wonderful piece of art. You have truly outdid yourselves and did a spot-on, wonderful job. Very well done. But to all my friends, if you have any questions or if there's anything I may have missed or would like me to discuss anything further of the iFi Pro iCAN, please hit me up in the comments down below. I will reply very happily, and I've gotten quite a bit of conversations going on the last 2 weeks. But I will very happily reply to each and every one of you. If you did like this video, please hit that like button. I do very greatly appreciate the support. It has helped me out quite a bit. And also, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and see what else we have this year. It's shaping out to be a large year of products already. I have a few I'm already behind on, but I have really top tier products coming to me in the next couple months. But as always, my friends, my name is Army-Firedawg. It has been a pleasure, but most importantly, please I ask of you all, stay safe.